I think the biggest difference was the fact that the commercial course was a lot less personal than JD advising, so it was impersonal. With the commercial course, the instructors, there were larger classrooms or larger lectures, so there wasn't the opportunity to ask questions, as well as some of the courses were online, so there was no live instructor. But being with JD advising, the difference was the classes were smaller, the lectures were smaller, so not only did I get a chance to interact with who was teaching the course, but I was also able to ask questions and interact with the students as well. It was a smaller classroom size, smaller lecture size, so that made it just a little bit more personal, and you had that one-on-one experience versus being in a larger setting where you didn't get to ask as many questions as you'd like. What I liked most about JD advising was the fact that the lectures and the study schedules were organized already. I didn't worry that I was missing something or that I wasn't studying enough. I felt that the materials that I was giving and everything that I needed to prepare was structured in a way that I could spend most of my time focusing on studying and learning the materials, and I didn't have to figure out how I was going to do that. It was already prepared for me. So simply studying and learning was my goal, and I didn't have to do any extra work. Yes, the highly tested areas of law were spot on. One of the things that JD Advising does is they're great at predicting not only the essay questions, or some of the essay questions, but also grilling us and guiding our studies toward the most commonly tested areas of law. And I think that helped me because I didn't have to guess. It took the guesswork out of me trying to predict what would be on the exam. I was confident that I had studied enough based on the materials that were provided. Yes, I definitely worked while I studied for the bar exam. I was actually working full time while I was studying. The classes that or the tutoring sessions that I had with JD advising, as well as the lectures, were after work. So it was convenient for me to work all day, come in to do the classes, and then whatever assignments I had was a lot, but it was manageable to do in between work. So I definitely still had my same responsibilities, work and taking care of my home and all of those things. Yet JD Advising was flexible enough to offer classes that worked for me, private tutoring sessions that worked for me. So I definitely felt that I could manage and maintain my busy life in addition to studying. Yes, JD advising definitely played the biggest role in me passing the bar exam. I was a retaker, and I definitely lacked a lot of confidence coming into taking the bar. I think one of the things that the course did was allow me the confidence to go in to retake the bar exam. I felt prepared. And I had never felt prepared before when I took the exam. And so I remember going into the week before the exam, gathering all of my like everything that I had studied, all of my study guides and outlines together. And I was just amazed at how much I learned, how much I memorized, the amount of materials that we had gone through. And it just gave me that extra push, that extra bit of confidence that I needed. And so I think without that, I don't know if I would have felt as prepared. So I think that definitely gave me that extra bit of push, that extra bit of um, that I could just go forward and pass the exam. So I know for sure that the course, the advisors, the instructors were all so instrumental in providing what I needed to get through the exam. I definitely liked the extra homework that was provided to us. It definitely kept me on track for sure. Um, and it helped reinforce what we had learned in the lecture, what I learned as a with the private tutoring sessions as well. Um, and I think the most important thing was at the end of the course and leading up to the bar to be able to go back and look at everything that I had worked on and everything that I had done, including those homework sessions and some of the quizzes that we had during the course as well. Um, Again, gave me that extra bit of confidence that okay, I've certainly learned a lot. It doesn't seem like that when you're towards the end and you're everything is sort of coming together. But to know to have that those uh, those those homework examples uh, there with you to see that everything that you had actually learned, everything that you had memorized, is right there. Um, I think not only while you were doing it, it sort of reinforces what you've learned in the in the lectures. Um, having that those uh, having those examples at the end gives you the confidence to know that you've actually done the work. What I thought about the JD advising course instruction was that the instructors were very knowledgeable about the subject areas. I felt that the subject areas had been condensed to what we needed to learn for the exam. I didn't have to sort of weed out a lot of minutia in the law, but just core legal principles that I needed for the exam. So I think that was helpful in the instruction. Um, the instructors were just super knowledgeable, and you felt that they had a I felt that they had a good grasp on the subject area that I was learning, um, and felt confident in the way that the materials were presented to me. So the instruction was all presented in a way that um, was not only condensed down and easy to understand, but it was all very digestible. So there's so much to learn, but the way that it was organized and the way that it was broken down was made the amount of the work or the amount of what we needed to learn more manageable. Definitely love the interaction that I could have with the instructors during class and after class. You don't get that in some of the bigger commercial courses which I had taken before. You were able to, like, if there was something that I didn't understand while we were going through it, I was able to stop right there and ask a quick question. Definitely, and I could stay after class if I still had trouble with a certain concept or just understanding what it was that was being asked. So having the ability to ask questions immediately while you remembered was helpful, and as well as being able to stay after a little bit just to get that extra help. All of that added to, I think, being successful in passing the bar exam. Absolutely. I always recommend JD advising to other students, simply because I know how much it helped me. Um, I can't say enough about, I think, one, the warmth that you get when you walk through the doors and you have someone listening to you about your concerns and your fears going into this major exam that you've been preparing for. So right away, you get that the staff here cares about you, cares about your success, and so I would recommend this group to other candidates who just need that extra bit of I think that extra bit of hand holding, that extra bit of confidence, that extra um, sense of care that the instructors provide, um, and they really and truly care about your success here, and whether you pass and beyond that, just your overall well being during this time. And so for that alone, I think it's worth um, coming into or it's worth being in a course or taking a course or investing in a course that sees you as a whole person. So not only are you just a student here, but you I think you walk away feeling that you've made a friend or a connection with the staff here, that they really that they really are invested in you, invested in your well being, and getting you through this process.